Hell yeah, all that works.
On its face, this is just a normal one-bedroom apartment. But its tenant finds joy around every corner.
It's my bathroom, bro, you know what I mean? Cool little bathroom, turn the light on.
Maybe because he can't remember the last time he had his own place.
It's my equivalent of hitting the lottery, really.
Joe Halbert is mostly known as Arkansas Joe because of where he grew up. He's been homeless in Louisville the last several years, many of them with Pony Morris. Morris got housed in 2021 and is now a leader with Vocal Kentucky.
He's really got to see the good and the bad of my situation and the reason why I am in a better position than I was.
Joe wasn't ready to leave the streets then, mostly because of access to drugs.
I'm real hard-headed, so I really tried to hang on to the good time that it used to be, but it was just such a bad time for so long.
Louisville Metro government wants people like Joe to get housing by doing a common assessment. It's an 8-page questionnaire given by family health centers that assesses how vulnerable you are on the streets.
The common assessment team actually goes out and assesses people on how likely you are to die on the streets.
Natalie Harris, the executive director of the Coalition for the Homeless, says it's unfortunate how exclusive this process is.
I had heard about it, but you know what I mean? It wasn't a real thing to me. Like I didn't think it was. I wasn't seeing anybody get housed.
Joe did one in 2019, but Family Health Centers said he dropped off our radar, as can often happen. He did one again in January 2024, and this fall, he was approved for a housing voucher. He says being in rehab where he could charge his phone and get mail was the key.
What happens so often is that we get a referral from coordinated entry, and the phone runs out of minutes, or the phone gets stolen.
There's currently 1,819 people who've taken the common assessment and are waiting for a voucher. They're competing for about 1,400 vouchers, nearly all of which are in use. The only way a voucher becomes available is if someone gets disqualified or graduates to another program. Joe Hamilton with Resilience and Community Services manages 350 of the most intensive vouchers in the city. It is rare for someone to move off of those.
Do you have any kind of figures about how often people do that?
We probably have about 15 a year.
As Joe settles into his new apartment, he knows he barely made it to this point. Even after qualifying for housing, people have to pick out their own apartment and make it to showings. And if you stay in sober living for 90 days, you disqualify yourself.
It can definitely, be a bit overwhelming.
Joe says he could not have done it without his caseworker, Marie Bingle, who drove him to showings and helped him get furniture.
Once I recognized that what his goal was and that the reason why he was missing out on the opportunities to obtain housing, we were able to identify, a path.
This office has 9 caseworkers with 30 clients each. If you don't have one, the path can be hard to find.
What's at the end of the tunnel? We don't have nothing. We didn't have nothing.
At the age of 42, Joe says his next goal is to attend trade school and become a welder.
After a while, I'll be a union welder. That's the long term.
Is it nice to see someone like him have dreams?
Definitely so.
Joe's path to housing was not clear, but the system did work.
And I know that if I can do it, literally anyone can do it.
Housing advocates hope one day his case can be the expectation and not the exception. In Louisville, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.